All right, today we are diving into something really fascinating, an ancient system for navigating the entire journey of life. It's called the Shodasha Samskarangal, which are the 16 sacred rites of passage in Hinduism. Think of it as a roadmap, one that guides you from even before birth all the way to after death.
But first, just think about it for a second. In our own lives, how do we mark the big moments? Every culture, every family has its own special ways, right? Things like graduations, big birthdays, anniversaries. These rituals are what give shape and meaning to our lives. Well, this ancient system we're looking at today provides a super comprehensive framework for doing exactly that.
Our main source for this explainer is this book right here, which lays out all 16 of these rites. And I want you to notice the image in the center, that sacred fire. It's a really powerful symbol of purification and transformation, and it's at the heart of so many of these ceremonies. Altogether, they create this incredible traditional map for the journey of life.
So, what exactly is a samskara? Well, the word itself comes from Sanskrit, and it basically means to refine, to polish, or to prepare something. So the whole idea here is that each of these rites helps to purify a person's mind and body, getting them ready for whatever's coming next in life.
And get this, there are 16 of them. Not just one or two, not five, but a complete set of 16 ceremonies designed to cover a person's entire lifespan. It's a really complete system.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll nail down what a samskara is. Then, we'll take a journey through the key rites of childhood and into adulthood. We'll look at the final passage, and then, at the end, we'll see how it all fits together as this amazing framework for life.
All right, first up, let's just make sure we're all on the same page about what a samskara really represents. It's so much more than just a party or a milestone. It's a foundational piece in a lifelong process of becoming who you're meant to be.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? These rituals create this continuous thread that connects every single major transition, and it gives each one a deep spiritual and social meaning. It's a complete roadmap for our time here on Earth.
So let's see how this all builds, starting right at the very beginning. The first group of samskaras is all about welcoming a new soul into the world and making sure they're protected and cared for.
Now, what's so cool here is how the art from the book cover shows us what these early moments are all about. You can see the family, the whole community, all gathered around. This tells you it's not just about the individual, it's about weaving that child into their social and spiritual world right from day one.
Now, we're not going to go through all 16 rites today, but let's touch on a few key ones from childhood. You've got the Namakarana, which is the naming ceremony. It's when a child formally gets their identity. Then there's Annaprasana, a celebration of the baby's first taste of solid food, which is seen as a gift from the gods, and Chudakarana, the first haircut, which symbolizes shedding any impurities from a past life and starting fresh.
Okay, so as the child gets older, the focus of the samskaras starts to shift. This next phase is all about getting them ready for their roles in society, with a big emphasis on education, discipline, and, of course, responsibility.
And you can literally see that transition happening in the artwork here. The imagery moves from that little infant in its parents' arms to the young student and eventually to the couple at their own wedding. The rites are guiding the person from being someone who receives care to someone who contributes to the world. Two of the absolute biggest rites here are Vidyarambham, which is the formal start of a child's education. Often the child writes their very first letter in a tray of rice. And then the big one, Vivaha, the marriage ceremony. Vivaha is probably the most central social samskara. It marks the shift into the householder's stage of life with all the duties and responsibilities that come with it.
Of course, any complete map of life has to navigate its end, right? So the final samskara looks at death not just as an ending, but as another absolutely crucial transition.
So the crucial point here is that this final rite, which is called Antyeshti, is about way more than just grief. It's a whole series of rituals designed to make sure the soul has a peaceful passage from its physical body, completing the cycle that began way back before birth.
So now that we've seen these little snapshots from the beginning, middle, and end of this journey, let's just zoom out for a second and ask, why? What is the real, overarching purpose of this incredibly elaborate, lifelong system of rituals?
It really boils down to three main jobs. First, they publicly acknowledge and celebrate all the changes we go through in life.
Second, just like the name says, they're meant to refine and purify a person's character at each new stage. And third, they weave the individual into the fabric of their community, making those social bonds and shared values stronger.
So, you see, in the end, this isn't just a list of 16 things you're supposed to do. The Shodasha Samskarangals offer a totally holistic blueprint for living a life with real intention. They give you structure, they give you meaning, and a sense of connection to something much bigger than yourself at every single step of the way.
And that kind of leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to think about. This is an ancient framework, but that human need for meaning and for structure, that's timeless. So when you look at our own lives today, what are the modern-day samskaras we create to mark our own journeys and to build our own purposeful lives? It's something we're thinking about,